Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a true fashion icon here in DFW. Her incredible story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So I have no fashion sense, but I had the sense to marry up, and I married Victoria Snee. She's the head of marketing for Highland Park Village, and she is a fashionista, and she dresses me up like a Ken doll every day. But I admire people who have fashion sense, and a true fashion icon is in the studio right now, Elizabeth Ward Creel. She's with Elizabeth W. Boutique. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm honored to have you in the studio, and I love how people's journey begins. So as far back as you can remember dressing up Barbies, I mean, you were always about fashion?
Oh my gosh, always. From day one as a child, I was always dressing up, wanting my mom to take me shopping, playing in clothes, playing with Barbies for hours and hours and hours. I went to a private school, and we had Wear What You Want Day, where you didn't have to wear your uniform like once a quarter, and I would spend a week or two figuring out what that outfit looked like and just fostering creativity through fashion. It's always been my passion. I got my first job in retail when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
My mom would have to drive me up to the mall and come pick me up. And it just really kind of took off from there. I spent a lot of time in retail and fashion and have always had a passion for it.
And she got an MBA from SMU, wonderful institution. And so you learned a lot about business. And then for a time you're working in corporate America. How long was that?
Yeah, so I spent 10 years in corporate America, really, managing large businesses, working on large retail accounts, managing a large business at retail, and just really learning analytics, how to run a business, sales, the buying, assortment, promotional strategy, P&L, long-term strategic planning, all those good things. I spent 10 years doing. So that, along with my MBA, kind of gave me the confidence to want to break off on my own and start my own business in retail.
Yes, and I know how scary that is because when I quit Channel 4, my finger hovered over the I quit button for a full minute. It's scary to start your own thing, but you've been fabulously successful. We're going to pull up her website so you can get a sense as to what she's accomplished. Talk more about the boutique and what kind of fashions and the experience.
Yeah, so I really saw an opportunity for a retailer to come into this market that offered a unique assortment. I was seeing the same brands in every store. And I also felt like there was an opportunity to have kind of a really hyper focus on customer service, which was not my experience and what I was seeing in similar retailers across the Metroplex. So that was my thought. I wanted to come in. I saw this white space, and that's what we've done. We've brought in all these emerging designers, from all over the world. We really also focus on kind of like little, smaller startup companies. And we are really focused on customer service. So that's been the whole thing.
What is it like when you're working with a customer who's, they're in a rut, they're in a clothing rut, they just have been wearing the same fashion since the 80s and they want to change? I mean, that gives you a chance to go back to dressing up Barbie again, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's so fun. I mean, just to kind of inspire people and give them confidence to step out of their comfort zone is so inspiring for me. And it's so fun, and it's so, people are so appreciative. Like I've had clients come in and just, they've had such a wonderful experience and they feel so good about themselves. So that's really what it's all about. That, makes me so happy.
Sure. Well, we have to talk about the pandemic. What was that like for you? Because there wasn't a playbook. We all were kind of making it up as we went along. So when they started to shut down the world, what was going through your mind?
Yeah. So, it was a weird time, right? I think my first kind of focus was just on health, right? And just being so worried about the people I care about and making sure everyone is okay. And then I was like, oh yes, and I'm also running a business too during this. And we actually took that time to really pivot. We spent a lot of time kind of reskinning our website and really ramping up that game quickly. So I feel like my team did an excellent job there. We kept all of my staff members on board. I didn't lay off a single person. We had Elizabeth W. Town Hall every Monday, and everybody kind of talked about our goals for the week and what we wanted to accomplish. So we really focused on the online piece. And then we also did a ton of live IGs, and it was super, super fun to interact with brands that way. We had, the CEO of White & Warren, a large global company, on live IG with us. We had a local artist. We had Cameron Westcott. We went live from her closet during the pandemic. We did giveaways. We just really wanted to create this community and engage with people since we couldn't face-to-face. And then another piece of that was, we were actually behind the scenes at the store, my manager and I, every other day. We alternated who was going in because there was still a need for people to wear clothes during the pandemic, and people wanted activewear and more casual pieces to lounge around in. So we kind of got behind those categories quickly. We revised our buy and the products that were coming in. And we did local drop-offs under our concierge service model to our clients safely. We just dropped off on the front porch of people's houses. And so I know it was a scary, scary time with a lot of uncertainty, but we actually had a lot of fun with our clients and our Instagram followers during that time.
Well, so speaking of Instagram, you have a robust Instagram. We're going to pull it up, and as we scroll down it, I just want to compliment you. The photography is amazing, and it looks like you're really fashion forward. You're not doing anything that is like crazy. Like sometimes I see, when I watch fashion shows in Paris, and you're seeing these outfits that nobody would actually really wear.
Yeah. Yes, actually, and that's kind of my thing right now is I want to have pieces that are not just for this season. I really am interested in wardrobe builders, pieces that can take you from day to night. And so I assumed you're going to ask me about spring, summer trends today.
Sure.
So, around that is really just finding colors that you like to wear and that make you happy, and finding pieces in your closet that I think are timeless, that can take you through, and mixing that with some more trendy pieces is the way to go. So that's how I'm personally looking at trends right now. And if you look at our website, I think the assortment currently is reflective of that.
I love that. Do you have a pretty good gut when it comes to buying? Can you tell, okay, if I put this in my store, this is a hit?
Okay, it's so interesting because, when we first started, I had no clients. I started a business with 0 clients, 0 followers on Instagram. And so I just had to go with my gut around, what, I thought would be top sellers. And I found out, obviously I've tweaked that as time has gone on, but I found out I really do have a good sense for that. Along with my husband's sense of style. He was a buyer for Neiman's in the same category that we're in, and then has since left, and he broke off on the wholesale side and ran, a showroom with like 75 different manufacturers. And so, my sense of fashion along with his as a gut check has really helped. So the two of us together do that buy. And now I really buy for specific clients in mind. So now that we've built up that client base and I've seen things checking at retail. I kind of know what I think is going to work and what's not going to work. Although, I'll have misses too. It's not perfect, but yeah, I feel like
that's awesome. And talk about, you mentioned during the pandemic, everybody went to kind of leisure wear. Are we back to like pre-pandemic styles?
Oh yeah, 100%. We are back. And I saw that shift just over time. Right when things reopened up, there was still a lot of uncertainty, and we saw a shift still right away for people wanting to kind of wear sparkles and celebrate. And the fashion world talked about it being like the 20s again, and feathers and all that stuff. And, we are 100% back in terms of fashion. I've never seen it so fun and people taking so many risks, which is it's a fun time to be in this industry.
Okay, do you feel any pressure because you are a fashion icon? When you wake up in the morning and pick out your own outfit, are you saying to yourself, I'm being judged?
If I'm being honest, probably, when we first had the store, I felt a lot of pressure to, always be looking good and my best self. But then it's like, I was so focused on the business and just getting to work and being able to help my clients that, I'm like my clients. We're busy and I want to reflect the style that, the way that I style them, which is day to night, cute, easy tops with a good sleeve, and just let's get out the door. Let's be looking the best we can look at the moment. And so I kind of pivoted in that where like you weren't going to walk into the store and find me wearing heels anymore. Like it's about function, but still looking cute and presentable, but also having some layer of comfort too throughout the day.
Okay, so if you're going to the Whole Foods to shop, do you ever throw on a pair of sweatpants and just go to the store?
Yes.
Okay,
so I do my grocery shopping on Sunday, and I go to Whole Foods and like 2 other stores, and you will 100% see me wearing no makeup. I'm wearing Fiore like sweatpants and tennis shoes. I'm wearing some like race shirt or race sweatshirt. Almost unrecognizable. But on the weekends, I really like, especially Sundays, just a no makeup day, just a rest from fashion. And it's such a nice little respite to do that.
Love it. Okay, so in the final couple minutes, I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to the person who says, man, I need to make a change. I'm in a fashion rut. So they speak to that person about coming into the boutique and just allowing them to experience another look.
Yeah. So I think my best advice will be, maybe just find one color that you're super passionate about and just branch off and maybe buy a couple pieces in that pop color, a color that you love. Like you don't have to do the color wheel. You don't have to find your color matching. Just find a color that you love and that makes you feel good. And buy a couple pieces in that color and incorporate that into your wardrobe. I think is a great place to start.
Outstanding. You've been an awesome guest. We're going to end with your website, which is shopelizabethw.com. The great Elizabeth Ward Creel. Thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.